Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hello, Scribe.
Hello, Scribe.
And your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Say hello, Satsu.
What up, dope?
Look how sexy I said that. Satsu.
Well, you are after his blackness.
Yeah, it's the only thing I like. I'm your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey, and we're here to entertain at least ourselves for about 2 hours. So kick back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, a wench or two if you got one close, and enjoy. Scribbles, how you doing tonight?
Well, apparently I've suddenly become very, very yawny and not the piano player. I don't know why. That seems to happen like, oh, no, I got to do something. But that's probably just reflective of the fact that I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning, which is, all sorts of fun. Other than that, it was thankfully, again, a relatively quiet work day. And then I did a TEDx. And we'll talk about that one later. And now here I am. How are you, Satsu?
I am pretty good. Had a very long day. I don't know what made it so long, but it's been a long day. My new chair showed up.
Yay!
So I dismantled those other chairs and threw them in the trash with absolute glee. And now I'm sitting in my new chair, and it's nice. I like it.
And you've got armrests from the gods now?
Indeed.
All right.
Indeed.
Okay. I had a, boring day, really. I spent most of it just laying in bed trying to sleep, and when that didn't work, I got up and came out here and started goofing off on Twitter, and now we're here. Illiterati, thank you so much for the donation with no message. That's very kind of you. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games, hit the like button, guys, and please share our stuffs. We got stuffs. Share it with your friends, your family, that bitch you hate. Tell them to watch because you don't want them to hate you anymore. Oh, wait, you hate them. Well, it'll make you feel better, too. All right, thanks for going with me on that.
Sure.
Anything we need to talk about before we get into news stuff?
No.
Well, I'll be doing this over the course of the show, but shameless plug. Tomorrow, the tentative plan is that I'll be doing a TEDx in tandem with Sinatra Says on my channel at noon Pacific time tomorrow. Now, he's got real-life stuff going on tomorrow that may shift that schedule either completely or partially, so keep an eye on my Twitter. I will update you guys as things proceed.
Illiterati said, just a tip. I appreciate it. I only like the tip. And this is Kyle. Thank you so much. He says, hello, chat people and LotN. Hello back. I will probably... I don't know when we'll do Monkey in the Morning, but we will definitely be game streaming sometime tonight. As always, guys, our links for everything are below. One of the most important you can follow if you are over there is Twitter. Make sure you follow the Twitter links because you'll know when we're going live. All right, Scribbles. Kind of shittiness is there in the news today?
Oh, that's awfully pessimistic.
Well, it's the news. That's how you're supposed to approach it.
Hey, that's my thing. I'm the pessimistic one.
When's the last time we read the news and it's like, here's a full night of good news?
I think Scribe tried to do it one time and we still failed. So.
And it blew up, yeah. Mm-hmm. I know we've tried. It's the news, man. Look, we don't blame you for it.
I tried so hard.
We appreciate your attempt. It's the fucking news, so...
Well, Harris makes case against Trump in first speech as Biden's running mate, unlike making a case for herself and Biden.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, whatever works, I suppose. Senator, depending on how Biden said it, is either Kamala or Kamala. That kind of altered sentence to sentence.
Kamala is the way we're supposed to say it.
Yes, well, Biden... still doesn't seem to know. Senator Kamala Harris laid out the Democratic case against President Donald Trump, as if we haven't been hearing it for the last 4 years, in her first speech as Joe Biden's running mate Wednesday, arguing that Trump isn't, quote, up to the job, unquote. Well, he got the job.
He's been doing it for a few years now.
He's in the job. If this was his first time running, like if you were in Hillary's position, that sentence would make sense, but it doesn't. So anyway, Harris and Biden appeared together for the first time in Delaware the day after Biden chose the California Democrat as his running mate, making history as the first black woman and first person of Indian descent to join a major political party's ticket. In the speech,
She's
Harris.
a Blindian.
In the speech, Harris sharply criticized Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. How original. Comparing the lives lost to Ebola, in which 2 Americans died during President Barack Obama and Biden's administration. Ebola.
Ebola.
Not H1N1.
No.
Ebola. Okay. She also lambasted Trump's handling of the economic fallout caused by the crisis. See, this is I was talking about yesterday. I am dying for somebody to put one or both of these people, especially Biden, on the hot seat and say, what would you have done differently? Details. What would you have done differently? How would you have avoided the economic fallout by everybody locking down?
You have to remember that Kamala, I forget how you say it. She would just do an executive order. She would write an executive order that gets rid of COVID.
Right. Quote, he inherited the longest economic expansion in history from Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Was it?
By the time he was done with it.
Okay. And then, like everything else he inherited, he ran it straight into the ground.
No. Okay. You cannot blame that on him.
Okay. Yeah. Of all the things you can legitimately criticize Trump for, you can't blame him for the economy tanking because of a pandemic, because of a natural disaster. And the lockdown, the shutdown of the economy. This is what I was wondering with all these tweets and bites. Like, the economy is in the tank because of a lack of leadership. Like, okay, well, so you wouldn't have shut down the economy, or you wouldn't have everybody masking and staying at home and all other stuff. So what's the alternative? How would the economy survive under your leadership without a lockdown? Like, what are you talking about?
Real quick, Andrew Joyner, thank you so much for the donation with the thumbs up. Here's what they try to say, is that Trump didn't lock things down fast enough. And if we would have just locked things down faster, then it would have all went away and we'd be reopened by now. Except for that's never been the case, because our original lockdowns were supposed to be 2 weeks, and then it was 3 weeks, and it was a month and a half.
Yep.
No, they can keep pushing this and trying it, but you can't. Lots of stuff you can blame Trump for. What's happened with the economy right now, you can't.
Yeah, the economy was flying up until the point that the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And it's not like now, in some places, it's still not doing nearly as bad as they said it would. But you can't blame him for the effects of a natural disaster and a nationwide lockdown.
That you're demanding, by the way.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that they're talking about we have to stay home and not group together and wear masks and 6 feet apart and da-da-da-da-da. But now it's his fault that the economy took a dive because of all these restrictions, plus the fact that a lot of these things are run by the states individually, and it's not Trump doing it all by himself.
Well, like I said, if this pandemic pushes us into next year and Biden goes back into office and he decides, okay, well, I'm going to decide now that I'm in this position to keep things closed to make sure that everything is all good. The narrative is going to shift that day. They're going to be like, oh, well, the economy's hurting because we're still closed, but you can't blame Biden, because it's a pandemic. It's not his fault.
or it's the aftermath of Trump's mismanagement.
Yeah. Or he had to make decision because of Trump. Yeah. Trust me, it'll be something. It'll be justified when they need it to be justified. Trust me.
Frank, thank you so much. He says they can and will blame him for whatever, whenever.
Now,
they can, but doesn't make it legit.
Truth be told, though, that's not exactly a new strategy, not even for Trump. Trump's blamed Obama for things that were totally under his control, too. So,
of course, it's a political thing as well.
All right. This is what happens when we elect a guy who just isn't up for the job, Harris said. Our country ends in tatters, and so does our reputation around the world. The two speeches, first Biden, then Harris, served as introductions to the new Democratic ticket. But they also offered a preview of how Biden, Harris, and their surrogates will attack Trump and Vice President Mike Pence's time in office during the next week's virtual Democratic National Convention and in the sprint to November's general election that follows. You mean saying the exact same things we've heard for the last 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
Onward.
Before introducing Harris, Biden said the election poses moral questions that Americans must answer. Quote, "Who are we as a nation?" Unquote, Biden said. "What do we stand for? And most importantly, what do we want to be?" Unquote. Well, obviously a geriatric old man and a woman that wasn't charismatic enough to carry herself to the primaries. Oh, sorry.
If only she could have fucked the nation for that. But she didn't have enough time for that.
I'm so pissed off that these are our only options. I really just. In his speech, Biden said he'd first learned about Harris through her relationship with Beau Biden, who died of brain cancer in 2015. Quote, "Kamala, you've been an honorary Biden for quite some time," he said as he introduced Harris. Was that before or after she accused you of being a racist?
And said she believes your sexual assault things.
Yeah. Harris said that during the Great Recession, she, as California Attorney General, and Beau Biden, as Delaware Attorney General, spoke on the phone daily, sometimes multiple times per day. Why?
So she had something to talk about today.
I'm just curious. What was their business between California and Delaware during that time of all times? Quote, I learned quickly that Beau was the kind of guy who inspires people to be a better version of themselves. He really was the best of us. And I would ask him, where'd you get that? Where'd this come from? He'd always talk about his dad, unquote, she said. Quote, the love that they shared was incredible to watch. It was the most beautiful display between father and a son. I'm sure it was. That's got what to do with this?
Well, you got to bring up his dead kid so everybody remembers he has a dead kid. Guys, he has a dead kid.
Oh, he's got a couple. Well, I'm not going to.
He's got a couple.
I'm not going to make light of it, but you know.
I'm not making light of it either. But if you're going to make it a campaign issue, let's just be honest. He's got a dead kid, y'all.
That's the problem. Is that he makes it an issue that can be critiqued now, and I don't know why you do that. Yeah, unless I mean, if you're going to bring up like if you're promoting in the case of Beau Biden, if you're promoting some kind of like initiative on cancer research,
sure,
okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's like, you know, this is why I'm doing this, etc. In this instance, it seems a little tawdry, honestly. Their comments underscored that both candidates, publicly at least, have put behind them Harris's attack on Biden over his record on busing to desegregate schools in a June 2019 Democratic presidential debate. Well, you know, they may have forgotten the past, but the past hasn't forgotten them, and everyone will remember it.
Well, don't worry. The media will do their best to make sure that they don't.
Well, it depends on which media, but yeah.
We got memes. It's all right.
Yeah, Biden said that with Harris now on the Democratic ticket, quote, little black and brown girls who so often feel overlooked and undervalued in their communities, but today just maybe they're seeing themselves for the first time in a new way. Yeah, you know, little black and brown girls, they all suffered from self-esteem issues and depression. But now that Kamala Harris is a vice presidential candidate, now they see their value, guys. Now they do.
Yeah, Satsu until I stepped into this spot.
Yeah. Didn't Squeetus wake up today and say, I could be president, Dad?
Yeah, she did. She woke up and those were her first words, and then she pitted herself. She shit herself.
Like, Daddy, I'm gonna be president.
Well, I was actually talking to somebody about this on Facebook. Like, just imagine your kid coming up to you and they're like, you know, Dad, I think I want to be president one day. And you're like, sorry, sweetie, no other black women have ever accomplished it, so there's no way you will.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's impossible for you, idiot.
I love in the sarcastic. I love that logic that I've always heard. It's like, if you don't see it, you can't be it, or you can't believe that it's possible. We have to have people or role models, and without representation, if you can't see yourself in something, I was like, okay, so Jackie Robinson never became a baseball player.
Nope,
he just never did, because, you know, obviously since there were no black baseball players, Jackie Robinson in the major leagues, he couldn't become one. It just couldn't happen. So Jackie Robinson never happened. Right, Barack Obama never happened. Name anyone of the first female astronaut. Who was that? I forget her name. Sally Ride. Yeah, Sally Ride couldn't have. Yeah, because, you know, so yeah, breaks my brain every time I hear that bullshit. And this kind of soft bigotry, low expectations crap never flies. Never flies. As soon as you hear it, it sounds stupid.
Real quick over on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Sanguine. Shit, for nearly 8 years, the shitty economy was all Bush's fault, but then for about 3 years of boom under Trump that Obama said was impossible before it happened was suddenly all thanks to Obama. somehow despite their proclaimed impossibility pillix. Yeah, don't forget, it would take a magic wand to bring back manufacturing. Trump mentioned that during his thing today.
Biden began his speech in Wilmington by thanking other women his campaign vetted for the vice presidential pick before he chose Harris, the daughter of Indian and Jamaican immigrants, on Tuesday. And yet they keep calling her African American in several places. Quote, as a child of immigrants, she knows personally how immigrant families enrich our country. Were her parents here legally? I think they were.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about legal immigrants, right, Joe? You're not conflating things by any chance, are you? Trying to draw a comparison between you and Trump, who's obviously an anti-immigrant person overall. Her story is America's story. I could make a joke just now that would be kind of rude, but I think Monkey will do it for me.
Which one?
That Kamala's story is America's story.
Oh, about sucking dick to get ahead?
Well, I was thinking it's like, did we suck off King George?
No, we told him to fuck off. It's the exact opposite of what she did.
Oh, okay.
We did it on her own, and she's like, hit me. I'll suck it.
Let's see. He added, Kamala Harris has had your back, and now we have to have her back. She's going to stand with me in this campaign, and all of us are going to stand up for her. Now, they don't tell us the context of that, but I watched the speech. Mm-hmm. And what he's talking about there was the oncoming online and White House attacks on Kamala, which will obviously be sexist and racist. Mm-hmm. So now she can't stand up for herself, so we have to have her back. We have to protect her from criticism, apparently.
Even Lady Monkey, we're sitting at dinner tonight, we're talking about, what's going on. And she mentioned that on the CBS Morning News thing that she watches, they were talking about how Trump called Kamala nasty.
Yes.
And he only did that because she's a woman. And even Lady Monkey said, he does that to everybody. Literally, men and women all the time. He insults them, gives them nicknames, and calls them. You can't just say it's because she's got a vagina. Real quick, thank you, Shoehorn of Plenty. Kamala came from out on the island in the back room. She was everybody's darling, but she never lost her head, even when she was giving head.
Oh,
true beans.
All right. Well, that's basically all there is to that. I'm still. There was a tweet today. I think it's from the Washington. Was it the New York Times, the Washington Post? Anyway, and I'm paraphrasing, but it said, "What does Kamala Harris bring to the campaign?" And I was like, "Well, what did she bring to her own campaign?" There you go.
Well, I saw Joe Biden say, Kamala Harris has never quit anything. I'm like,
yeah, right.
You're the nominee. I'm fairly certain she was in that race. And not only did she not get beaten, she actually quit.
Yeah, he said she's never backed down from a challenge. And I said, aside from dropping out of the presidential race. And then Biden went on to say, I was listening to it live. He said, and then he just equated her to being, quote, the stuff of presidents. Yes. And then there was a slight pause and then and vice presidents.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? We have birthdays backing up on us here. Oh my God.
I see at least 3, possibly 4. So first up, Griffin, it's your birthday. Before we get that, let me get this super chat over here real quick. The Streamlabs. Don't forget, Streamlabs is an option, you guys. Kamala, how you say it. Kamala Harris does have something in common with pre-Civil War America. They both had a penchant for keeping black men in chains for the hell of it. Yeah. Her dad even came out and went, yeah, we were slave owners back in the day. Oops. Griffin, it's your birthday. And around here we do this. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Why do you people do this to yourselves?
Happy birthday, dear Griffin.
Are you a real Griffin?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Griffin. Shrouded Angel, thank you so much. He says, are they going to switch roles? No, she's going to take over. He's going to go relax.
Yeah.
And Jordan, thank you so much for the kitty cat saying, how's it going? It's going well, thank you. We're going to break up our horrible singing with another story. What else you got?
Military helicopter shot at over Virginia, injuring a crew member.
The fuck?
Yeah, I'm
Someone's trying to
guessing.
get shot.
I'm guessing sovereign citizen, but that I might be biased. A U.S. Air Force helicopter was shot at near Manassas, Virginia on Monday, injuring one of two pilots on board, according to an Air Force official. The UH-1N was flying 10 miles northwest of Manassas on a routine training mission at an altitude of 1,000 feet when the incident occurred. It landed safely at Manassas Regional Airport west of Washington, D.C., and the pilot was taken to hospital where they were treated and released. The incident is now under FBI and Air Force investigation to determine if the helicopter was deliberately shot at or if someone was randomly shooting into the air. The aircraft will be closely inspected for other damage. The airport operations officer, Richard Alaba, reported its air traffic control tower was notified of a, quote, onboard emergency on a military helicopter that was inbound, unquote. The pilots of the U.S. Air Force helicopter, which identified itself as Muscle 16, can be heard reporting, quote, a medical emergency, unquote, in air traffic control audio. The aircraft initially scrapped plans to land at Manassas Regional Airport, then informed controllers it would be heading, quote, directly to Manassas, unquote. Yeah, it goes through a lot of granular detail about all the steps involved and who did what. Quote, WFO is working jointly with our law enforcement partners, including the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, to determine the circumstances surrounding the incident. One individual in the helicopter sustained a non-threatening injury for which he was treated and subsequently released from the hospital. The FBI asked that anyone near this area at the time of the incident who may have information, please call the FBI. There you go.
Snow and Chad just said, don't ask me how I know, but the Air Force uses UH-1s only for very special purposes like patrolling nuke sites. Someone's in deep trouble. Yeah, especially if that's true. Whoever did it is in deep trouble anyway. Even if it was accidental, some idiot shooting at birds or something, and you're in trouble. You don't shoot. Yeah,
if they find them
to prison.
If they find them,
I have a feeling they'll find them.
Hmm.
Next up, we have Dan Pete has a birthday today. Dan, it's your birthday. This one's yours. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Should we call you Dan or Pete?
Happy birthday to you.
Having two first names is weird.
Happy birthday, Dan and Pete.
I'll just call you Pete.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dan. I hope you have a good one or had a good one, whichever applies. You never know when somebody's watching this. It could be like 8 a.m. their time. It could be the start of their birthday. So have a good birthday. What else we got, Scrolls?
Why people are split on using Latinx.
Oh, God. I don't know what compelled me to read this article, but I was like, why did I do this to myself?
So I tweeted this out today. I said maybe because it's an ideologically fueled nonsense term, maybe. And Aiden Paladin liked my tweet, and Aiden Paladin follows me. I did not know that, and I got a whole bunch of attention because of that, and a lot of people making fun of it. Like, at one point, somebody said, I forget who it was. They said prior to Latinx, you know what the apparently their first attempt at a new phrase was?
No.
It was Latin with an at symbol. So Latinat or Latin, whatever you would pronounce that.
Okay.
And I was like, really? I did not know that. That's bizarre. And
it is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, the theory was they dropped it because too many people were like ending up tagging people in Twitter with it since they kept putting at the end.
It's literally a gendered language. You can't go in there and change all that shit like that.
Exactly. The language leans masculine. So Anyway, depending on which corners of the internet you inhabit, you might have come across the term Latinx. I'm just going to say tinks because it's hilarious. Latinx has emerged. No, it's more been force-fed, I'll say. Hasn't emerged, been force-fed. Has emerged as an inclusive term because Latino was considered non-inclusive by who prior to this?
White girls.
Oh, sorry. To refer to people of Latin American descent, okay, encompassing those who don't identify as male or female or who don't want to be identified by their gender. It's been who doesn't want to be identified by the gender that they're expressing? I'm curious to know. It's been used by journalists, politicians, corporations, colleges, and universities. And you know, if enough people say something, it must be correct. Argumentum ad populum, guys.
Did you notice what was missing from that list of people who use it?
Would you happen to mean like Latin people?
Latinos?
I think I missed that one. Was that there?
No.
Okay.
You got a super chat.
Thank you, Frank, who says instead of using the X, why not say Hispanic?
Because they don't all come from Hispaniola. In 2008, it even made it to the dictionary. Wow! But among
the American one.
Yeah, the American. But among the people Latinx is intended to describe, few have heard the term, let alone use it. Well, maybe that should tell you something. Maybe that should tell you something, that somebody's trying to impose something onto a people that don't care for it or need it or thought that it was necessary in the first place.
That's hilarious. I don't know if you're going to read it far enough to get to this line, but one of my favorite lines in this article was, a lot of Latin people said they didn't use it because it felt like some shit that Americans was pushing on to them. It like some American thing that they just came in and said, hey, look, we're American and we think you should start speaking like this. And they're like, fuck you.
Well, I mean, I could have gotten that far in the article, but now why bother?
There you go.
Yeah. Now, the argument that I'm surprised I haven't heard about this yet, for at least from the opposite side of the equation, is, isn't this an example of rhetorical colonialism?
It is.
Or you know, vocabulary colonialism or something. Voccolonialism. Anyway, in a new survey, researchers found that only about 1 in 4 adults in the U.S. who identify as Hispanic or Latino, CNN, how dare you, have heard the term Latinx, while just 3% say they use it to describe themselves. The findings published Tuesday by the Pew Research Center signal just how complex identity is for people categorized as Hispanic or Latino. No, it does not signal complexity. It signals stupidity.
Simplicity.
Yeah, it's not complex. It's not complex. If only 3% of people in the U.S. who fall under the category they decide to assign to themselves, that is not complex. That is the lowest of all possible minorities of thought on the subject. That is so stupid.
This shit comes from the same type of people who spell women with a Y.
Oh, God. Quote, this reflects the diversity of the nation's Hispanic population. No, it doesn't. 3%? 3% of people in the U.S. who fall under this potential category is the okay. I mean, I'll grant you it does contribute to diversity. It does not represent a trend. Real quick, this reflects the diversity of the nation's Hispanic population, and the Hispanic population of the U.S. thinks of itself in many different ways. No, says Mark
Just
Lopez.
Latinx.
Yeah, the director of global migration and demography research at Pew Research Center told CNN, Latinx is just one of those many dimensions. Oh my God, Jesus! What are the other ones aside from Latino and Latino? Yeah, what are the other dimensions? Why not list them? In the U.S., the terms Hispanic and Latino are often used to refer to people of Spanish-speaking or Latin American origin. You don't say Hispanic refers to Spanish-speaking people, or Latino refers to Latin American. Wow. Gosh. Although they're often used interchangeably, Hispanic refers only to people from Spanish-speaking countries, which includes Latin America and Spain. No, they're used interchangeably. People know what you're talking about when you say it.
Yep.
That is the sign of successful communication and language. Now, if you want to get like technically correct, or if somebody gets irritated over that, well, you can use one or the other. But no one is incorrect when using that term, and no one is misunderstanding what they mean when they say it. Okay. Latino refers to people with roots in Latin America, which includes Portuguese-speaking Brazilians, but excludes Spain. Those two terms describe a very broad group of people and don't always align with the ways that those populations identify themselves. Well, if I'm talking referentially about someone whose personal origins I don't know, and I have to describe them to someone, and I say either Hispanic or Latino, but I'm technically wrong because I don't know and can't read minds, reasonable people will forgive me.
My question is, how is Latinx supposed to fix that?
Yeah. What does that refer to? How does that not also refer to a broad spectrum of people who don't necessarily identify with that thing, but it's not like Hispanics. Where's Hispanics?
This is a nonsense. The part they're talking about now is meaningless because it has nothing to do with Latinx versus Latino.
Nope.
Nothing at all to do with it. The whole reason for the change from Latino to Latinx was because, oh no, it's gendered. That's it. That's the argument.
That's it. Yeah. That is the only reason it exists, is because somebody decided, I'm offended that it's masculine, that there's machismo in Latin American culture.
Thank you, Darkalao. Wait, when did Spain move to Latin America from Europe? Back in the, 1600s?
Something like that, yeah.
Around there.
Let's see. Previous Pew research has shown that Hispanic adults most often identify by their country of origin. Surprise, surprise. Using terms such as Mexican, Cuban, or Salvadoran, as opposed to pan-ethnic labels like Hispanic or Latino. As again, if I'm just talking referentially to someone I don't know, it's a generally understood term or terms. Latinx is another term that has emerged in recent. It hasn't emerged. It didn't hatch from an egg somewhere. Some oversensitive moron on Tumblr came up with this and shoved it down the throats of everyone, sounding like they were all academic and inclusive and guilt tripping anyone who used the regular terms. That's how it showed up. It didn't emerge from anywhere except somebody's thin-skinned imagination. That's it.
Oh my God. The craziest part about this is, like, often, and we've talked about this before when I was bringing up Black Lives Matter and their values and how it doesn't match at all with the basically conservative views that a lot of Black Americans have because of the way that they stick to this Black culture. And in Black culture, there's like traditions that have been set up, things that you're supposed to do, you aren't supposed to do, ways you're supposed to carry yourself and act or whatever. Like, Black people are very conservative when it comes to that stuff. And so are Latino people. They like their traditions. They like repetition and the stuff that they've been doing. They don't really like change all that much. So to step in and be like, yeah, we've created this new thing for you. Use it. It'll make us feel better. They're just like, fuck off. Like, no, that's just not a thing. It's not a thing.
Excuse me.
Yeah, people of color tend to be much more conservative when it comes to customs and stuff like that. You can't just walk in and just change some shit like that, and it'll just be that now.
Yeah, so this goes on for quite a while. So Satsu was right. I didn't get the whole thing. But it goes over more evidence that it's not an often used term. It's not an often either known term amongst the demographics it's supposed to represent. And then it does talk about, like, why people are split on it. And it's because it's a term to referring to something that very few people care about, and it's used for those people who don't fit into the male female gender binary, like, and the percentage of the population that category consists of is what?
0.
Less than 1%.
Yeah, less than 1%. So the fact that even 3% of American Latinx are using it for themselves doesn't mean it. Anyway, I've said it all. We're done.
All right.
That's all the articles.
Thank you, Chicago Mike. Wait, I'm Latinx and not Latino?
Yes.
That's what they want you to believe. A bunch of sensitive white women want you to believe that because they know. And Reckless Trucker, thank you. Separation is evil. Agree with us or else. All right. It is Justin. Real quick. Twisted Skipster, if you're still out there, What was your mom's name? But before that, we have Justin Ortiz. Justin, it's your birthday, and around here, we do this. Good luck. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Justin.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Justin. I hope you had a good one. I really do. Now, other than Twisted, I think we have them all caught up. And since the news, I'm assuming, is done, it is time for hashtag MSS News. Guys, if there's a story you want us to take a look at, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to them all. That's just because I cannot talk this fast and read at the same time. Anyway, so first up today. This one comes from Peter Stewart, and it tells me that the site can't be reached.
Oh, it's Canadian, isn't it?
It is indeed, but here it goes. I clicked a different spot, and it let me read it. A woman is stunned when her driver's license came back with a picture of an empty chair.
Wait. So that was Donald Trump being interviewed by Clint Eastwood?
Apparently, no.
Oh no, sorry, that was Obama. Sorry,
Obama was the empty chair.
That's right.
All right, Twisted, I got it. Thank you. We will get that right after this one, bud. Driver's license photos are the worst, but one Tennessee woman is laughing after a clerical error left her with a picture of an empty chair. I was with my mom and we were going out to lunch, and I said, "You need to see this. This isn't right." Jade Dodd told CNN affiliate WKRN. Dodd had recently renewed her driver's license in Hickman County, and when it came in the mail on Thursday, she was surprised to find in the place of her picture ID, there was a photo of an empty chair. This is a much longer article than I feel it needs to be because it keeps going. But you guys can go see it. It's real. She got a Tennessee driver's license, and it's just an empty chair there. I would keep that shit. I would use that. I'd be like, no, that's me. It is Catherine's birthday. Catherine passed away last year. Twisted's mom, he said, it's coming up to around the time that she passed. And he would really think it's funny for you to sing to Catherine's scribbles in a Maryland voice or in a Maryland tone.
Okay. And out of respect for Twisted's mother, I will not do the same joke I did last time somebody asked me to sing like Marilyn Monroe and just make zombie noises.
Real quick, Furry, thank you. Now that Gen Y and Z now has an existential crisis while Gen X and Boomers had nuclear annihilation, AIDS, how will Chan affect their rhetoric?
Chan?
I don't know.
I'm not quite sure how to answer that question.
Me neither.
What was
Catherine?
Catherine, okay.
Catherine, wherever you are, I hope you're well. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
No.
Happy birthday, dear Catherine.
My ear's itching.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Catherine. And I hope that helped, Twisted. I did. All right. Let's see. Next. Oh, we got a couple here from Massive. Ooh. Let's do this one, I guess. Downfall. BP worker sacked after Hitler meme wins payout.
What?
It's an interesting title, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a string of words I wouldn't have imagined would ever go together. Okay.
A BP refinery worker in Australia who was sacked for parodying the company via a well-known Hitler meme has been awarded $200,000, 109 pounds payout.
Ow.
Got Tracy used the popular meme from 2004 film Downfall.
Yeah, it's a great film.
to portray scenes from company wage negotiations,
Nice.
posting it on a closed Facebook group. He was sacked by the company. However, after a 2-year legal battle, he won an unfair dismissal case and returned to work. The payout covers lost earnings. The meme uses a dramatic scene in Downfall in which Hitler angrily confronts his generals in his bunker and replaces the subtitles with alternative dialogue as a joke.
Yep.
BP said it was highly offensive and inappropriate and dismissed Mr. Tracy. The refinery worker first took his case to a tribunal, arguing unfair dismissal, but lost. Mr. Tracy then appealed, insisting he had not intended to offend anyone and that the video was meant to be humorous. He added that it did not identify BP or anyone specifically. Oh, well, hell yeah. He didn't even name them?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, go fuck yourselves, man. And stop being dicks in contract negotiations.
Also, stop being.
And so, he got his job back, and he got the money he would have made. Well,
good,
cool. I feel like he should have got like a 10% bonus for having to deal with this shit. You know, just a little bit more, a little taste.
That is hilarious. That is very funny.
Okay, we got a couple from Frosted. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, go to the corner. Why does your racism appear when the liquor does? The real reason some of your black friends and coworkers won't party with you.
Okay.
My head tilted sideways and my eyebrows raised, looking from my roommate to my off-campus friend on the other side of the room. There was no way my homegirl of almost 2 years just said what I think she said. This could not possibly be the same college friend who had sat in my parents' car for 8 hours straight, chatted it up with my older brother, sat on my front porch, and happily conversed with neighbors, and who I'd always trotted along with to lean on a picnic table whenever she wanted to smoke outside near our dorm. There was just no way possible my ears heard her correctly. But the look on embarrassment on my off-campus friend's face told me that wasn't just my imagination. I vaguely remember what led up to her comment. 4 of us, including me, were headed to a backyard party near our university. One of the crew made a comment about my off-campus's friend's boyfriend complaining about her not coming over late that night or something to that effect. She loyally went to his house each night to sleep, no matter what hour her class schedule was on campus. My roommate laughed at the comment about my off-campus's friend getting in trouble for partying with us that night, and my roommate crackled and said, "Just tell them, fuck you." I can't say that. It's an N-word.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Reckless, thank you. I've been away. Is Scribe a Republican yet? No.
Yeah, no.
But she
I'm not
said,
even a Democrat yet, so.
I'd just tell them, fuck you, N-word. The off-campus friend gasped and shouted my roommate's name, nervously giggling. The 2 others, also white, mumbled about my roommate having too much to drink, and liquor in my system was all but gone right at that moment. I stared at my roommate/friend, instantly sober. I first wondered why my off-campus friend, a white girl with a kind of bob that looked like it was fresh out of hyper hair, wasn't angry. After all, this racial slur was directed at her own boyfriend, a black man. Then again, the same off-campus friend had once surmised that I lived in the ghetto. After you got some good friends, homie. After asking her where she got this information from, her response was to say, "Oh, I just assumed." From that comment alone, I already knew she wouldn't understand the weight of our mutual friend's comment. I nodded my head, learning something I'd never even imagined after being so cool with my roommate. It didn't sit right with me, though. We'd never argued once the entire time we knew each other, which says a lot considering I've been asked countless times why I never went to law school. I thought she was quite possibly one of the coolest friends I had, as in ever. There was never any prior drama. When she asked me if I would be her roommate during our sophomore year, my response was obviously. I never saw an inkling of racism in my roommate. However, I'd also never gone to a party with her. Bowling, birthday partyings, restaurants, road trips, nailed those, but we weren't the type to party with each other. I'm all about hip-hop, R&B oldies, neo-soul, and smooth jazz. Minus her fixation with Nate Dogg's verse on Snoop's song Ain't No Fun, she was more into hard rock. Songs like 9 Inch Nails, I Want to Fuck You Like an Animal were heavy in her Napster rotation. Napster?
Well, hold on. She just mentioned her preferences as far as music is concerned, and most of those line up with black people. So if for whatever reason she was to guess what your preferences were as a black person, and those were her guesses, would that have been racist?
Oh.
Deep thinking.
So clearly we weren't hanging out in the same clubs and parties, but for whatever reason, I was bored and decided to accompany them to a party that I would have never, ever gone to with my college sin folk.
Oh, my God.
College skin folk.
What?
Skin folk.
Skin folk? Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ, anyways.
When she made the comment, I went through 5 of the 7 stages of grief. We're up to 7 stages of grief now?
There's always been 7, right?
There's always been 7, yeah.
Oh, 5.
No, 7.
Oh, man, 7.
All right.
Wouldn't know because you're too fucking. I don't think you experienced.
I've always only heard it as 5.
I believe 7 has been the standard for quite a while.
Yeah, I've only heard 7, so I don't know.
Finally, I settled on silence and still agreed to come along. I talked to the other 3 girls, but pretty much acted like my roommate didn't exist for the rest of the night. The next day, she asked me how long I was going to give her the silent treatment. I shook my head, almost fascinated by how quickly she made herself into the victim of the situation. Yeah, see, everybody's saying 5.
I thought it was 7.
Like I said, I've only ever heard 5. Anyway, she immediately apologized about how she'd never used the word before. Oh, yes, you did. Stop it. Never used the word before in her life, and it was the liquor. What's that?
No, I was reading the chat. Sorry, I read it out loud. They said 5 is standard. I swear I thought it was 7.
Okay, maybe we're having a Mandela effect situation here or something.
Right.
Okay, I just want to point out, I had the better memory here.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I caught on quickly that I never told her why I wasn't talking to her, so it couldn't have been that much liquor in her system. She knew exactly what the conflict was. You know, I don't care what. Okay, what is your point here? You had a roommate who swore, but let's get to the end here. White folks, the next time your black coworkers or friends opt out of going to parties with you, this may be the reason. For many years, it was and still is the reason I usually say I'll pass. To be honest, I'm tired of adding this to the list. When the liquor wears off, you go about your day as usual. But for me, the behavior was anything but usual.
Sounds like a personal problem.
All right. Your friend dropped an N-bomb in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe hang out with your skin folk more. I don't know.
I've never heard that term before.
Me neither. That's some made up shit.
That's amazing. That is the amazing racist over here. Jesus.
You know, I think if we ask somebody who's like maybe a white supremacist or somebody, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we know that term."
Yeah, they stole that shit from us.
That's our shit. Another thing.
Honestly, that sounds like some kind of NPC term from the game Werewolf the Apocalypse. Like, because in Werewolf the Apocalypse, the good werewolves, they have human, like people who are part of their bloodline but aren't werewolves, and they're called kinfolk.
Right.
And so skinfolk sounds like the evil opposite number of that. It's like assistance to the bad guys. That just sounds so bizarre.
Kinfolk is country people still call their family kinfolk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So skin folk, I get the play on words, but at the same time, it just sounds so in the context of it, it just sounds so ridiculously sinister.
It sounds stupid.
Well, that too, but yeah.
Skin folk. Jesus Christ. Ex Bubba Hotep, thank you so much. I wonder how many times he dropped the exact phrase around her. You know? I wonder how many times this girl uses that phrase.
Yeah, they said her boyfriend, the one who the comment was levied to, is black. So he probably say that shit every day.
Yeah.
Depending on which variation of the N-word we're talking about here.
It was with an A, by the way.
Oh, then yeah. I'm almost certain.
Hard R it.
I'm almost certain he says that every day.
Yeah, it sounds like Drunk Girl was trying to make a bad joke.
Yeah.
All right, next one comes to us from Shroom. DeVos sexual misconduct rule will take effect Friday after legal blocks fail. Good. A federal judge refused a multi-state effort to strike down Education Secretary Betsy DeVos's new Title IX rule, clearing the path for the policy to take effect Friday. A circus. This was the Ninth Circuit. That would be right. A circuit court judge in the District of Columbia released an order Wednesday denying a request to stop the new rule and to block it as legal action continues. Attorneys general in 17 states and the District of Columbia have brought the lawsuit challenging DeVos's policy, which mandates how colleges and K-12 must respond to reports of sexual misconduct. Former Vice President Joe Biden has vowed to put a quick end to the controversial rule if he becomes the next president. If you have male children of college age, pay attention to that. District of Columbia Circuit Court Judge Carl John Nichols wrote that while state leaders have raised serious arguments about the rule, they have not established a likelihood of success on their claims, nor have they established that they are likely to suffer substantial irreparable harm pending further litigation. The Title IX rule changes will mark DeVos's legacy as head of the Education Department, which is much better than her being worried about bears roaming through elementary schools.
Why does that ring a bell?
Because she actually brought that up as a reason why you need guns on campus.
Oh, yeah.
Because of bears.
Bears.
Anyway, the secretary has said the rule officially codifies protections to hold schools accountable by ensuring survivors are not brushed aside and the accused are not prematurely assumed guilty, which has been the biggest problem with the way Title IX was implemented under the Obama rules.
Yep.
By the way, I added that whole last part. DeVos touted the ruling Wednesday as a victory for students and said it reaffirms basic American principles of fairness and due process. Indeed. And I'm glad that that's not blocked and that they're going forward. And that will be something if Biden wins that will be a travesty for your college-age children. Because it goes back to Mattress Girl.
Oh, yeah. God. Oh, Emma Sokolowitz. Now I remember her name when you say that. I hadn't thought about her in forever.
Yeah. What happened with Title IX under Obama was a travesty. They turned these schools into dog and pony trials.
Well, kangaroo courts, basically.
Kangaroo courts against any guy accused.
Yep.
You're guilty, period.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. I don't know much about this, but Wandering Lisa sent this in. I don't know much about 40K.
Oh, Warhammer 40K?
Yeah. The Culture Wars reached Warhammer 40K.
I have a very cursory knowledge of that from my college years and friends who were into it. So go ahead.
I know we have people that are in the audience who are into it. So I try to spread around, the love. Warhammer 40K, often known simply as 40K, has been beloved by sci-fi fanatics since the 1980s. The tabletop war game produced by Game Workshop is a fantasy space where players can become generals of their own futuristic armies, locked in an unceasing war on a galactic scale.
Yes.
In recent years, the game, who players often congregate online, has attracted a small but vocal alt-right minority.
Oh, boy.
In 2015, the God Emperor Trump meme began circulating around 4chan poll boards depicting Trump's face superimposed on the image of a fictional theocratic ruler from the game.
Yes.
Since then, closed 40K Facebook groups have become a repository of racism and far-right content filled with Warhammer-themed memes mocking everything from specific ethnic minorities to gender equality.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to see why. This is from Vice, by the way, guys.
Oh, okay.
It's easy to see why. Wait, back up. What is the alt-right like against gender equality? I mean, I always thought that was a race thing, not a sex thing.
I don't know.
Me neither.
I thought the what's it? I keep forgetting their name because they don't come up anymore. A MGTOW. I thought MGTOW were the big like anti or the big sexist organization, not the alt right inherently.
Yeah, I've never heard it that way.
Well,
but anyway.
I mean, maybe the alt right they mean sexist in like the we wish for the 50s to return kind of alt right kind of thing.
I guess.
Maybe I don't know. I'm trying. I'm stretching.
It's easy to see why some players have a fascist reading of Warhammer 40K.
Because it depicts a fascist intergalactic empire.
Oh my God.
It's easy to see. You're right. They're correct. It is easy to see.
You know, sometimes we read these things and you can't make this shit up.
Well, and you just want to ask, like, hey, person writing this story about this thing, would you happen to know literally anything about this game?
No kidding.
They're like, nope, nothing at all. I just want to call people racist and shit. It's like, okay.
They're not incorrect. It is easy to see if you just read the most cursory summary of the setting. It's true. So, I mean, I have to sort of take a step back, sort of like the worst article I ever read on CNN. If you pretend for a moment that the person reading this has absolutely no idea what any of this stuff is, then maybe it makes some sense.
Let's see. Partially written as satire in response to the exceedingly optimistic sci-fi of the 1970s, the game takes place in a hopeless dystopian galaxy where murderous armies run rampant. There's a conscious borrowing of fascist iconography, structures, and practices. For instance, perhaps the most famous group from 40K's lore, the Imperium of Man, is a bloated, theocratic ethno-state that traverses the galaxy, purging heretics and alien races.
Yes.
Quote, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only one war, reads the game's tagline. What's your point here?
Yeah, it's just an informative thing. Like, if you don't know anything about 40K, here's a very high-level summary. It's been invaded by the alt-right. And like, how? Or why?
They're talking to somebody named Leaky Cheese.
What?
Leaky Cheese, this is the end of the article. Leaky Cheese suggests that a positive step would be a sign posted in every Games Workshop franchise, making clear to all customers that prejudice has no place in the community.
Oh my God. Yeah, talk down to people. Just like, nanny them to death. Like, did you know that fascism's bad, guys? That real world fascism's bad and Nazism's bad. Did you know that, guys? Just so you know. And if you thought differently, this is not the place for you.
Who do you think Leaky Cheese's skin folk are?
Oh, Orange Man bad.
Some changes to the lore of 40K would not go amiss either. There should be greater ethnic diversity in models, he says, and it should be abundantly clear that the Imperium of Man aren't the good guys. Quote, they need to put satire back into it, he says. The other thing they need to do is stop making space marines appear as heroes. People on the alt-right think they are superhuman Ubermensch warriors. Is that how you say that?
They are. They are bred to be. Okay, look, it's a dystopian, post-apocalyptic, grim, dark future. And if you want satire, look at the orcs, for God's sakes. You ever see the depiction of the orcs in those games? They look like cartoon characters. The thing, it's not meant to be taken seriously. And if you're taking it seriously, you're the one with the problem. You're the one thinking that it's something that it isn't. Holy cow, this is D&D all over again, just like we were talking about the other day. Like, we have to take the word races out because that's racist. Like,
Ex-Bubba Hotep, thank you. Did they miss the fantasy part? I think probably.
Yeah.
But hang on, let me get this last paragraph in.
Yeah.
As long as the alt-right factions to the 40K community remain unchecked and the satirical nature of the modern game remains unimportant, Warhammer has a problem. But
God.
hopefully what we are experiencing now is a shift in tide. Warhammer has persisted for decades and deserves to be opened up and continued to open up for all sorts of fans into the future.
Uh-huh.
It was so limiting before.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
The funny part about that is they talk about how it started. This is a direct satire of the overly beautiful world of sci-fi that you had in the 70s.
Yeah.
And you're trying to turn it into that. Real quick, thank you, Angry Illinois. And it seems like most of these people ideas that to change the economy, we need to destroy it.
Well, yeah, I mean that goes with a lot of things. When they're talking about certain video games or whatever, most of the time what they mean when they say we need to change this is we need to fundamentally destroy it and rebuild it in our image. Like it can't remain what it is. Like we can't fix it and it still be what it is. Like we need to fundamentally from the bottom up destroy it and then rebuild it in our image. And that way it'll be acceptable.
Well, we have to make it no longer unique unto itself. D&D has to have legacies, not races. Warhammer 40K needs to be kinder and gentler. It can't be what it is. It needs to be as bland as everything else that we want to be bland. It's this homogenization. It's this social Marxism bullshit being implemented in pop culture and in niche markets and everything else. And it's nothing new. We've seen it before. We will see it again. But it's being given such credence lately as though it's something that is morally good. It's a moral good. It's time. It's time that this industry XYZ grow up or something. Fuck you.
They sound, and once again, and I keep drawing this parallel because it keeps happening, but they sound exactly like those crazy Christians who are just like, we need to make everything pure.
Yeah,
you guys are bringing this devil work into all of our media.
Yeah, it's satanic panic. It's the devil's music stuff all over again. Except there's no religious connotation to it. It's a social good connotation, which is harder to ignore from the media because it doesn't sound like you're talking to some religious zealot. You're talking to a social activist. Anyway,
fucking redonkulous.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. We
need Warhammer X.
Oh God. Yeah, 40X. Not 40K, 40X.
40X.
Yeah, 40X.
All right.
Do you know AKKs that makes?
Oh my God, Satsu, you cracked the code.
Well played. Well played.
That's ultra racism.
In the grim dark future, there is only ultra racism.
Oh man. Guys, that's going to wrap up MSS News Time, but thank you for the submissions. Satsu, what you been up to on the YouTubes today?
I did some editing of a video, translated my schedule over to something digital because my wife's handwriting is not amazing. Mine ain't better. I'm just making fun of her because now I got the opportunity to. But my handwriting sucks too. What else did I do today? I actually wrote out some recipes for a lot of the videos that I put out that don't actually have a recipe like available for you guys to see. Like it's just the video itself. Mm-hmm. So I've been trying to get on that because I want to do one for all of my videos at some point. That's kind of it. I didn't do a whole lot. I put my chair together for my for my workstation, which was nice, and I dismantled those other two and threw them bitches in the garbage. I'm like, fuck these bitch ass chairs, squishy. Like, you can take them apart without throwing the shit everywhere. I'm like, fuck these chairs.
You could recycle them.
No, I did. I recycled them into the garbage.
I mean, recycle the parts or something. And make a project. Turn it into like a table or maybe a stool or something. Something creative.
Okay, well, I'll go get them from the garbage and get on that.
No, I'm with you. Throw that shit in the trash.
Oh,
that's what trash is for.
All right.
Scribbles, what you been working on?
Okay, so I've thought about this, how I present this to you. I'm going to give you a anecdote from the TEDx I did today, out of context.
All right.
Now, as preamble, everything about this anecdote, which there was a lot of people who said, you should circle the square on the bingo card that says anecdote that probably never happened. No. If you take everything that the speaker said in context, this anecdote, I believe, actually happened. Okay? So for a little bit of reference, our speaker is an educator of a kind. And one night, a student of his, how did he put it? An international identifying student.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. Called him at night and said, I've just been robbed at gunpoint. And the educator says, oh my God, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm all right. He took my wallet, but I'm okay. Like, all right. What's going on? He's like, well, I need your advice. All right. I don't want to call the police because I don't want to get this kid in trouble. I think he just needs some help, and I'm trying to figure out how to help him. The next day, the educator, shook up by this incident, goes to a couple of therapists and then meets with the student, and they talk about what happened the night before. And he recommends to this student that, yeah, he should probably get some therapy. And that's the end of the anecdote.
All right.
That's it?
That is the end of the anecdote as far as any relevant information about the aftermath of this situation. And the concern was how this student's thoughts or actions or anything else could better help society and not contribute to a system of oppression.
Real quick, let me get this from Sanguine. Right. So to them, the 9+ foot tall dude that is canonically made stronger, faster, smarter, and tougher than a normal human, to the point that it is like comparing an organic tank to a standard person, shouldn't be considered a super soldier. Not good, too. Remember. Thank you for the donation. So you got robbed. You don't want to call the police. You just how do you use that experience as the victim to make society better?
That is all I'm going to tell you. And that anecdote, the rationale by the student to not call the police, the rationale to call the teacher first, the rationale of the teacher to consult therapists before talking to the student, and then recommending to the student that he seek some therapy of his own to figure out how to best contribute to a more non-oppressive society. All of that makes sense in context to what the speaker had to educate us on.
That sounds like some of this stop funding police bullshit.
Truth be told, the subject was not restorative justice. There was a little bit mentioned. He alluded to it at one point, but that was not the focus of it. I'll give it away. The focus of the talk was toxic masculinity.
What?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay, now how you get from toxic masculinity to that anecdote, which I honestly believe happened, given everything else that the guy said, everything that he's been doing, everything that he says that he promotes, and so on and so forth. I honestly believe that happened. How you get from point A to that anecdote and then beyond it is, I got to tell you, and I say this so often lately, but I've said this many times. No matter how many times I look at a specific subject on TEDx or just in general, whether it's diversity and inclusion or toxic masculinity or restorative justice, the terms are familiar, but I never know what they're going to say next. I never know what the new sales pitch is going to be or what the new iteration of the argument is going to be. And this guy, on the realm of toxic, this guy took the cake. Oh my. And those of you who are joining me, I mean, when I picked this one out, I thought, this is going to be a so-so TEDx talk. We nearly filled out the bingo card, and not through some kind of I'm being kind of subjective stretching to fill out that score. No. We filled out the bingo card. We got a double bingo on this one, and we were arguably up for a triple bingo, except that I'm such a stickler that I couldn't go that far. So yeah, it was. I learned a lot today from watching this guy and he's an educator at a state university. Anyway, beyond that, like I said before, tomorrow, tentatively, I'm going to be doing another TEDx in tandem with Sinatra Says at noon Pacific time. He doesn't know what the TEDx is on. I do. So it'll be all sorts of surprises. So look forward to that tomorrow. And that's all I've been working on.
All right. Let's see. Did a monkey in the morning right after the show last night. Had fun with that. Just going over Kamala and what all that means. And it was a fun one. And then I did back-to-back game streams. Because I'm trying to keep them around the 2-hour mark. And I keep going over, but I'm trying to keep them around 2 hours. And I knew I had plenty of time to play. So, yeah, I went ahead and did 2 of them. Unfortunately, guys, I got a hold of YouTube finally and was talking to them about my problem with dual streaming. And they told me, yeah, that's a known problem. We're trying to fix it. I'm like, oh. It's only been happening to me for like 3 days now. Go back to whatever you did and undo it. Seems like a pretty simple thing. But they gave me something to try to make it not happen. I don't think it's going to work because I tried it kind of already, but we'll see. What else? I will do another game stream tonight. I'll do a monkey in the morning tonight. I don't know which time for either. So as always, follow us on Twitter. Follow our links below for our channels. All of our channels are linked down there, so check them out. Brings us to the humpetry and Satsu. What you got?
Let's see here. I don't think I got into a whole lot. There was this guy over on somebody's feed losing his shit about Kamala and how he thinks that this is an amazing ticket and everybody should be excited, and liberals are being called snowflakes because they're acted afraid and they think that Trump is unstoppable. And he's saying that nobody was guaranteeing around the time when Trump and Hillary were running that Hillary would win. That's all bullshit. I must have only been listening to Fox News. And I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a second.
Yeah.
My claim was that Hillary was a guaranteed win by a good majority of the media. And you told me that that's bullshit. You must have gotten that from Fox News. That Hillary was a guaranteed win. I got that from Fox, you say.
Try the New York Times saying 95% the day before the election.
On night of the election.
Well, that's on the night. Yeah, it slowly went down over the course of the night. Yeah.
I'm just like, Jesus Christ. So that was pretty funny. I told him that I will be screenshotting this conversation, and I'll see him in November. I'll see you then, bud. Because he's basically, and what I'm saying, what I'm trying to tell these people is they think that like I'm trying to trick them or something into letting Trump win. But I'm like, no, I'm literally telling you to not believe the hype, don't get comfortable, and go fucking vote. Like that's what I'm telling you right now. But you're arguing with me against that content. No, it's fine. Biden's leading right now. We got this. I'm like, okay. I'm trying to help you stupid motherfuckers. But I mean, if this is what you want, I can't do shit about it, man. I'm trying to help. But what the fuck else? How much more can I say at this point? If you're just not trying to hear it, I don't know what else to say to you. Whatever. Get comfortable. Get complacent. I'm sure it'll go just as well as it did before. Let me see. What else did I see? Oh my God, there are so many fucking excellent Kamala Biden memes right now.
Oh,
yeah. I knew they were going to be good, but holy shit. Some of these ones are absolutely great. They got Biden and Willy Wonka clothes, and it says, "Come with me and you will see a world of mass incarceration." And it's got Kamala down in the corner. And I'm just like, bruh. There's a picture of Kamala giving her speech and him behind her, like just fucking inhaling her Oh my God, there's so many of them. There was what was it? Kamala Monopoly, and every spot was go to jail.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh shit. I saw the Sean King thing today, which was pretty funny. I haven't fully confirmed if the first one is accurate or not because I just didn't go look. That's my disclaimer. I didn't go look. I just shared it, which I talked to people about before, but this definitely sounds like some shit he would say. He says, I'll be frank and tell you 2 Democrats that I am 99% sure I won't be supporting, primarily because of their dismal history on crime justice reform over the course of their entire careers. Those 2 are Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They both help build and advance mass incarceration. And then we hop into our time machine, and he says, that's it for me. I am incredibly proud to see a brilliant Black woman, an HBCU grad, chosen as a vice president nominee. Wow. I've done political work my whole life, and it's rarely things dreams are made of. Kamala Harris is the most progressive VP nominee in American history. I'm just like, whoa.
Well, I guess it depends on your estimation of what constitutes progressive, I guess.
Well, that's been a thing that's been said by quite a few people. Like a lot of people, she is the most progressive Democratic nominee ever. Well, and I'm just like, all right, I mean.
According to some of the things I have seen, like in the Senate, her voting record, depending on who's looking at it, is left of Bernie.
Mm-hmm.
So, real quick, Joe Fabs, thank you so much. My favorite was Kamala giving head to Biden. Yeah, I saw that one. That one disappeared on my timeline.
That one I didn't see. So there was another post that was put up that says Black Lives Matter holds rally supporting individuals arrested in Chicago looting on Monday, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's odd. That's a little strange, don't you think? Because the narrative apparently is Black Lives Matter is rallying together to fight for white supremacist infiltrators that are making them look bad.
Yeah.
By looting and rioting. And I'm just like, why would they do that? Isn't that weird? Doesn't that seem counterproductive? But if you guys actually, I don't know if you guys took a peek in here and actually read this, the quotes. So let's do a few real quick, and this will be my last one. I don't care if someone decides to loot Gucci or Macy's or a Nike store because that makes sure a person eats. Ariel Atkins says, this is a Black Lives Matter organizer. That makes sure that person has clothes because they're stealing because they can't eat and they don't have clothes, which is why they stole TVs and other expensive items because they needed food and clothes.
I saw people, they were stealing like 6 and 7 boxes of shoes. Now, maybe they were getting them for all their friends and family, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were just getting them for themselves.
Yeah. Look, it says, that is reparations, Atkins says. Anything they wanted to take, they can take it because these businesses have insurance.
It's not reparations. It's stealing, you silly bitch.
They don't even know what reparations are.
Well, she's suggesting that is their reparations right there.
No, I'm saying, though, but by definition, it's incorrect. Like,
well, if you don't give it to them.
Yeah, well, reparations isn't something you take; it's given to you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take reparations, or else it defeats the entire purpose. It is a gesture, not something that is stolen. But anyway, let's continue. What else does they say? They're talking about the person who got shot. Remember, they said shots were fired and then the police fired back.
Yeah.
What was the oh, here we go. Quote, even though the Department of Justice said with the consent decree, they are no longer allowed to chase people, they decided they were going to chase, and they shot this young man multiple times. Which specifically says to me that they thought because of this decree that they were given the green light to go steal whatever they want. That's why it was so massive. Because they said they weren't going to chase people. So they all got together and was like, dude, they ain't even chasing people. We can go. They literally said we can go steal whatever we want.
Yep.
So they went to go do it for justice.
For justice.
For justice. Now, if some story came out later on, it was like, look, we got receipts. These people stole all of this stuff, pooled it all together, sold it by some other means or whatever, put that money together and donated it to rebuild in their black neighborhood. I'd still be against the act, but I'd be like, okay, they did it for the reason they said they did it for. But no, that's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, half of the shit that was stolen and brought back to these people's houses, the thieves and the criminals who live in your neighborhood watching you bring all that shit in, it's going to be theirs pretty soon. So that'll be interesting. You won't hear about it, though, because they won't report on it. But, you know, such is life. That's my fucking tree for the day.
Kibbles, what you got?
I don't know that I have too much, but I might be misspeaking here. As we talked about the Latinx thing. Oh yeah, this tweet by Joe Biden earlier today. If Kamala Harris and I are elected, we're going to inherit multiple crises on a nation divided and a world in disarray. We won't have a minute to waste. That's exactly why I picked her. She's ready to lead on day one. And I was like, that's why you picked her? Huh. Because he would then go on to list a whole bunch of other things about why he picked her over the course of the day. Very few of them had anything to do with actually aligning on any policy issues.
Well,
just, you know. But also the New York Times. I mean, the New York Times, Washington Post are just giving textual glamour shots to Kamala Harris every chance they get. Like this one. Kamala Harris was ready to brawl from the start of her first campaign, Matt Fliegenheimer wrote last September. As Joe Biden's running mate, Harris may have to call on the same bare-knuckle tactics she displayed when she ran for San Francisco DA in 2003. And I said, she brawled so hard she dropped out before the first primary after being unable to maintain necessary fundraising. She was also so publicly hurt by Biden's racism that she brawled to endorse him as a nominee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all BS. Come on, it's just anyway. Let's see, what else did I find today aside from the TEDx deal? Oh yeah, well, this is for once. Chris Cillizza and I are on the same page because Chris Cillizza issued a Twitter alert. We are running out of Dr. Pepper with sirens around it, and I'm like, you know what? You and I are in accord on this one. It's a rare day, but
and it's all Trump's fault.
Yeah, exactly. It's all Trump's fault. Yeah, Dr. Pepper. And then there was, again, the New York Times asked this question. I mentioned it earlier, but just to reiterate, what does Kamala Harris bring to the race for the White House? And I said, well, what did she bring to the race for when she was a candidate for president? Past is prologue. She brought nothing. She inspired no one. She wasn't a likable person on the campaign trail. She didn't have any charisma. She couldn't hold up to scrutiny on the debate stage. And she couldn't inspire anybody to fundraise her up until at least the primaries. That's what she brings to the run for the White House. That's it.
Well,
I don't know what else they were expecting or why they would ask that question. Just look, how did she campaign for president by herself? Because at this point, the only reason anyone was ever talking about Kamala Harris for the last 6 months is because she was on the list of possible VP candidates. No one was talking about her as policy. No one was talking about her as a leader. From the time that she dropped out until Biden became the effective nominee, nobody gave a rip about Kamala Harris. But her only claim to fame this entire year was being on the list of potential VP candidates. That's it. Mm-hmm. And the people are like, oh my gosh, she's such a benefit to the campaign. I honestly, aside from all of the other stuff, she fills the slot. She fills the role, and that's about it. But the real thing that people need to consider, and people are starting to, I mean, it's all of a sudden, it's like, she might become president by default. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad people are thinking like that because that is a honest consideration. And it doesn't matter if it was, if you flip the script and it was a Republican who was geriatric and elderly and had a younger VP or whatever, you know, the McCain-Palin scenario again. That is something people are going to have to seriously consider when they're voting for Biden, is that you may be effectively voting for Kamala Harris. Is that who you want as president? Because more so than in previous potential administrations in the past, that is a consideration that needs to be made, and I don't know if people are being serious about that the way they should be. And lastly, so Ray Fisher, the guy who played Cyborg in the Justice League movie, he tweeted this out today. During the LA reshoots for Justice League, Jeff Johns, who was one of the guys that basically headed up the film, summoned me to his office to belittle and admonish my and my agent's attempts to take grievances up the proper chain of command. Then he made a thinly veiled threat to my career. This behavior cannot continue. And I'm just like, wow, right across the bow. There's some real drama going on with Ray Fisher and the Justice League, because he's been making comments like this the last couple of weeks that have alluded to things, but I think this might be the first time that he named names specifically.
Anytime these situations come up, especially when we're talking about that long ago, like, why now? Like, was he getting shit together? Was he like waiting for the perfect moment to strike? Like, if it was an issue then, you should have talked about it then. But it just seems like another one of those situations where it's like, well, I wanted to do the movie and get paid first, and now that all that.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, I think the check just cleared. I think that's probably why it's safe now to do that.
See, how strong is your activism if you are opportunistic about it as opposed to just acting on it? Yeah. That's a big part of activism, is acting. But
and the last one I got is just a minor thing. I had to tweet this out because I can't really, can't verbalize very well. But I amazingly enough, I'm subscribed to TED Talks and TEDx YouTube channels, and I got an alert today of a new TED Talk being posted, because TED doesn't post nearly as often as TEDx. And I looked at it, and I looked at the picture and the thumbnail, and thought, that looks really, really familiar. Why is that familiar to me? Oh, right. I did a TEDx on that. What? Yeah. Maybe this is a common thing. Maybe I just missed it somewhere along the way, because I don't look at the TED page nearly as often as I look at TEDx, because they don't post that often, like I say. TED is posting TEDx talks to their channel.
Oh.
So the one that I did was from 6 months ago, and they retitled it, took out the whole TEDx part in the title, and posted it on TED as though it were a new talk. Huh. And I'm just like, I said, yeah, TED Talks aren't even trying anymore. Now, I understand that kind of they're all part of the same family, I guess. But I mean, if you're not going to differentiate between the two, why have two different channels?
Right.
Why bother doing that? Why recycle old TED, and honestly, not very good TEDx talks? Not that there can be good TEDx talks, but this was one that I made this part of a double feature when I was in the early days, because it was a relatively short one. It was only like 10 minutes long. So anyway, that is all the fucketry that I've got.
All right, my first one's not fucketry, and I actually just saw this about 30 minutes ago or so. Do you guys remember Bridger Walker? He's the kid who saved his sister from that dog attack.
Yes, the kid with all the scars on his face. Yeah, if somebody had to die, it better be me, or something like that. Yeah. The
WBC, the boxing association, awarded this kid with the heavyweight title.
What?
For one day.
Oh, well, okay. That's nice.
He is now in the official boxing record as the best fighter that day.
I love that. That's great.
It's fucking awesome.
That's great.
Well played, guys, and well deserved.
Yeah, that's great. I like that.
Pound for pound, baby, best in the world.
Good job.
Hopefully it doesn't backfire.
Good job.
Hopefully there's not a rematch clause.
No. What happens is a week from now they find out he was doping.
But no, good on them for doing that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Katie Hill's back, you guys.
What? How? Why?
Well, okay. If somebody does something stupid, has to leave political life for a while, and comes back, what would be the most obvious motive? You guys know this.
Publicity?
For?
A new book.
A new book.
Yeah, I'm a smart man.
Katie Hill has a new book out, as well as a new podcast coming out. And so she's all over the place. talking about it. She has one on CNN, which I didn't watch. I did see part of the one that she did with Business Insider. And the woman asked her, do you feel like what you did was predatory sexual, predatory behavior?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, no, I don't really feel. I can see how other people would see it that way. But at the beginning of the campaign, I mean, it was really just a group of us. We had no chance. So it was really just a group of us. And it's not like anybody was in charge.
What?
Like, bitch, it was your campaign.
Yeah.
Hold on. What?
But the whole time she still keeps saying, I can see how other people see it that way. But you still did it.
Huh.
Other people see it that way because by today's standards, that's exactly what it is. You abused your position of authority to get into a relationship with one of your staffers, who, by the way, lost her fucking mind after it all fell apart. That part cannot be lost. She's being promoted all over media right now because she has a new book. And by all means, check out that dirty whore's new book. Drunkle, you don't have a mic hooked up, bud. Let's see. What else we got going on here? AOC. She's going to be speaking at the Democratic National Convention next month, or next week. For 60 seconds. They gave her a huge 60-second time slot. Good. Now, I did suggest to her that she should try using her black accent, given the importance of race in this race.
Black accent? Black accent?
Her black accent, yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing, Drunkle?
Hey, bro, you right?
Here's my biggest humpetry of the night.
Is it me? Am I the humpetry?
You're the humpetry.
Is it me? I'm the humpetry! Thank you for inviting me on Ranting Monkey. Hey, Scribe.
Hi.
What's up with Satsu? You good? How's the family, mate?
Good. They're asleep, which is exactly how I like it.
Be quiet. Right, okay, fine. Yeah.
Guys, that'll wrap up Humpetry. If you got questions, comments, throw them into chat now, and good luck with us actually getting to them, depending on what happens here. Drunkle, you got a new video out.
I do!
What's your new video about?
Oh, boy! Oh, man. 100% video, right? Oh, my days. Of all the videos that ever existed, this one is the most video. It's some bitch, emphasis on the bitch, going, here's how, because all white people are racist, here's how you can be anti-racist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a long day, man. It's been a long day. It's one of those where you start, you start responding to it and it just starts flowing because she's such a fucking idiot.
Sinatra, my friend, how are you? Are you not talking to us?
Oh my God.
He ain't talking to me.
Well, that'll be in our favor. Good.
Stacey Gardner asked, Lords of Night, do you think Donald Trump will mention how Kamala Harris got
It would probably help if I turned my mixer on.
There you go. Do you think Donald Trump will mention how Kamala Harris got her start in politics? Yes. I think he will bring that up once or twice.
He'll allude to it maybe in some sly way. I don't know if he'll say it like right out loud for the sake of the family ears, though.
I wonder Oh, go ahead.
Gamer Vleen, thank you. Drunkle is a little loud on the Drunkle scale. That's just Drunkle. What
you know what I mean, man? 100% all the time. Except for when I'm not. Even then, it's 100%.
Well, I was about to say, I wonder what the response is going to be. Are they going to flat out say it's not true, or are they going to just call it an attack on women?
Yes.
That's what they'll do.
Yeah,
They're going to do the same thing they do with the rioting. It's not happening, but when it does happen, it's these people, but they're rioting for a good reason.
Oh,
She
yeah.
couldn't do it, but if she had, you're just attacking her because she's a woman.
Yeah.
That's the thing that got me about the riots and everything, right? Every time it was people trying to burn down a building, oh no, that's alt-right people trying to give these people a bad name. These people can do no wrong. Do you know what I mean? They're not real protesters. The no true Scotsman fallacy has been real for the past couple of months, and I don't see that going anywhere all the way up until November.
Well, I've come up with the perfect defense for them, and I don't want to say this because maybe they got an agent around, but I got the perfect defense. If Trump brings that up, then what they will say is, well, based on your male patriarchal system, you have created a scenario where women have to do things like this in order to succeed. And it is because of people like you, Mr. Grab Them by the Pussy, that this culture has been created.
Do you think there's a possibility that they'll actually like turn it around to Willie and make him the bad guy?
Yeah, he took advantage of her.
Sure. Yeah, that'll be a path of least resistance right there. Sure.
Oh, Willie, leave me and my Willie out of it.
Well, her Willie's got her where she's at now.
Yeah.
All right, let's get through some questions. Oh, Lords, would y'all try cashew?
Really? Nothing? I thought that was perfect.
I laughed. I laughed.
Do you understand why it's funny? Willie Brown?
I think I do.
It's fine.
Anyway. Oh, Lords, would y'all try cashew chicken pasta, a side of spicy egg rolls, and a wooden cup of tea?
No, Mata.
What
Sure.
is this Fallout fucking menu? Right. I want a fucking wooden cup of tea. What does that mean?
He's very specific about the beverage.
Yeah, the cups are very, very specific.
Cups of wood, I guess.
This
wood?
time. We've had some really weird ones. Oh, Lords, who in the 40K group is the good guys? I don't know anything about 40K. Sorry.
They're none of them. Whoever you choose is the protagonist of your particular play. That's about it. I mean,
I need to play 50K.
If they focus on the Imperium for the most part, because I think they're the most easy to make video game stories and characters out of. But yeah, it's a dice war simulator game. There are no good guys.
It's
Can
weird,
I tell you
isn't
guys
it?
about
Like, he
an
comes
existential-
in with fucking Warhammer 40K, and yet he used to be the fucking president of a BDSM club in college. Like, you wouldn't think it from the way he just spoke about Warhammer 40K, would you?
I could see those two things going hand in hand.
I've never played a single game of 40K. I had friends in college who were into it, and I know I absorbed a little bit of the lore from it. But
okay.
I also know just role-playing games in general. And when you're playing a game where
Bet you do.
it's all moral ambiguity and darkness and grimdark, there's no good guys. It's like Vampire the Masquerade.
Whips.
It's only how much can you avoid completely losing your humanity. There's no winning involved.
That kind of sounds like
I had a
how
bit of
play.
an existential crisis today.
What happened?
Oh, no.
I was
You're right.
shaving after AAA. I went and did some work, and I was shaving, and I'm looking at my face.
Wait, hang on,
like,
no, wait. Oh, you were shaving your face. Sorry, when you said work, you might have been using a smoothing plane on your fucking living room floor that you should have had sorted by now, right? No, of course it's not. No.
No, I was shaving my face, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I got gray beard hair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Oh, it hit me.
You're only in your 20s, man.
Dude, you should see how much gray hair I have on my head. I look like a silverback. It's fucking
You should
ridiculous.
see his shoulders, man.
That's not gray yet. At least I don't think Shelly shaved my back like a week ago.
Check out his ass hair. Oh, Lord, so you typed Kamala into Google Translate and had it translate Finnish to English? No, but somebody told us that last night. I forget what it translates to. Have any of you played Factorio? Yes, I like Factorio.
I know of it. I've been warned against it.
I have
in
a year or so. What were we saying?
Consume your entire day, is what I've heard. Yeah.
And it's one of those where you just keep learning from your mistakes, and so you try again. And okay, I did this wrong.
Yeah, I feel that.
Name one good TEDx talk. Scribbles.
I forget the title of it, but it was one where a lady was talking about the ins and outs of being a professional fundraiser and what exactly goes into being a professional fundraiser. And it was very bare bones. It was very blunt. It wasn't sugar coated. There was no ideological bent to it. It was very informative. And she talked very plainly about how you influence people to convince them to give you money for things. And, it was, like I say, it was a little cynical in places, but it made sense given what she does. And making fundraising a profession, having to promote something that may itself have some kind of moral cause to it, it's irrelevant to the fundraiser. The fundraiser is doing a job, and she really stripped it down, and it was really interesting.
Oh
That's
shit!
exactly
So
what
like,
I do
was
for a
it?
living.
I kind of right, horsecock, baby. Like, is it one of those where like she's stripping the moral ambiguity of it because she knows she is effectively conning people out of them? Because I was going to say throughout all of that, like, yeah, that's an old profession. It's called being a fucking con artist.
No, she was just talking about it as a business. She was demystifying the notion of it as a inherently moral good. It's like when you're a professional fundraiser, people hire you to find ways to get money in, and that's all there is to it. Yeah.
Well,
So
I'm kind of looking at it as a formula rather than a fucking look at me, I'm so good kind of thing.
yeah, it was
really interesting.
It was very honest, and it was, like I say, very informative and interesting. And it was a TEDx talk. So yeah, there are good TEDx talks out there. I just have a nose for the worst ones. And by the way, Sinatra, are you still going to be available tomorrow?
It's looking like I should be. I should be 5x5 for that.
Okay,
And,
I will check in with you tomorrow then.
I have a TEDx talk that scared the shit out of me.
Okay.
Oh, go on.
Sam Harris on AI.
About grey shoulder hair by any chance?
Oh, yeah. The AI stuff is either completely bullshit or the people that know what they're talking about. Yeah, they scare you.
Yeah, Sam Harris scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
I started looking at my phone all weird, like, the fuck are you planning?
My favorite
I'll be right
TEDx talk is still the fat chick whining about being called fat because that was just
Oh yeah, Sarah Bramblett.
Is that her name? It's been a
She's dead
while.
now.
I imagine.
Yeah. So it's the
was huge.
stage she was stood on. My favorite TED talk was it was a very, very simple one. I think it was a really, really short one, but it was the secret, well, not secret, but lesser known tools on Google.
Oh.
That was a great one. I was just like, motherfucker, I just learned so much in 5 minutes here. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Did you see that TYT couldn't get a press pass for the DNC? No, I didn't, but
Oh, that's hilarious if that's true.
Yeah, but then PBJ is on the DNC, so it's fine.
well, the TYT, remember after the election, the Democrats are done.
Yeah, we're coming after you.
We declare war on the Democratic
Yeah,
Party.
that's
Fucking
right.
assholes.
Why did you have to ruin the stream at the end? I can handle Drunkle, but Sin, why do you hate us so much? Wow.
Sin is the best one of the both of us.
Hey, who said that?
Yeah,
was
I
fine.
should be the one. You should be going. Oh, fuck Drunkle, not fuck Sinatra. He makes quality content.
Wait,
I
who
love
said
everybody
that?
on the stage right now. Everyone on the dais.
I'm looking for it in the chat. Who said that?
Ryan.
Taking name.
Yeah,
Ryan?
you're done. You're fucking done.
You're
Whoever
fucking
you
done.
are, you're
We're
fucking
done professionally, man.
You'll never work in this town again.
Let's see. Is Drunkle drunk right now?
No, but I'm getting there. I've had a bad day, Ranting Monkey, so I'm going to get absolutely lashed and throw up and go to bed. Not necessarily in that order.
I recommend that order.
Yeah.
Yeah, try it.
Well,
As an
I
Irish-
mean, I'm a I can go a couple of times a night, Monkey. I don't mean to brag.
Lords Tonight, what is the title of Katie Hill's new book, How to Be a Whore? I don't remember what the name of her new book is.
Can't keep them crossed.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. Legs
She
the
was
kid,
whining in the one interview once again about her husband took those pictures
split.
without her permission.
Yep.
Like, bitch, you were posed in one of them.
Oh, I know the title. Katie Hill, they can't say no. They work for you.
I got your paycheck, bitch. Sin and Drunk Boy, are we getting rid of Satsu and Scribe? I mean, who would be sad? You guys are fucking mean tonight.
Damn.
Well,
That'd be
the thing is, we're getting rid of Monkey, and it's
Yeah.
going to be the Triple S show.
That's right.
Well,
Wow.
I mean, I'm 100% sure that Ghastly and Sinatra are getting rid of me. So you guys just want to do a swap for a little bit? We'll do like a fucking exchange thing.
We'll wife swap.
We'll wipe swap it. Right?
Dude, half the show is going to be us fucking up each other's names by calling us the other person.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Well, before we get any further, while I have a slight moment here, Sin, what you been working on?
Yes, Sid. You don't do videos anymore? What the fuck?
I put a video out on the main channel today, a creepypasta. I'm finishing up Super Secret Project X that should be ready to announce Friday. I have Friday's video already done, and I'm going to work on Mondays later so I could take the weekend off.
I
There you
saw as I was working on my video today. I think it had been out for about 2 hours. I think the buy our merchandise or you're racist. The Antifa getting fucking kicked from Teespring.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Great video, guys. If you've
Thank
not watched it, people in the chat, go over there as soon as this show's done. Like, I've got a new video. Well, go watch that one first. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
Watch
dude,
it.
I just love what happened to him, man. Like how fucking Teespring started that reply, and Antifa going, "What? Why you're not selling our shit anymore?" And Teespring go, "We're not a fascist company." It's so fucking incredible, man.
get fucked, commie, lol.
The total body slam.
Let's see. Are Hispanics who say Latinx and Chicanics betraying their own language and culture? Yeah.
What was that second one? Chicanics?
Chicanics, like Chicano.
I
Yeah,
have
so
not heard
it's-
that one.
People from Chicago. It's the accent.
You never heard him called Chicano before?
Why can't you be this funny on the AAA?
I am. It's just you're mean on the AAA.
I would add that to my bio, but it's already there.
Gentlemen, is it a betrayal to say that stupid shit?
I don't fucking care. Say whatever you want. I still get to make fun of you for it.
Yeah, fuck
Only
yeah.
a betrayal.
Done. Fucking done.
We're done professionally, man.
Fucking done.
Don't ever work in this
Just
town
talk
again.
over him, Satsu.
Scribe's with us, man. You guys get ghastly. Fucking
If you
get
think
all your speaking out right now because you're done.
potato, I'm gonna need
Potato.
you. Yeah.
No, that's a pineapple. You were saying, Satsu.
No, it's only that if you think they're a monolith. If not, then I don't think it's a betrayal. If you think they're a monolith, then yeah, it's a betrayal.
But a
Yeah,
potato's
I don't-
a vegetable.
It's not. Oh God. It's not a betrayal. It's just asinine.
It is.
It's just asinine.
Oh, Satsu, did you see what I tagged you in on Facebook earlier?
Man, you be tagging me in all kinds of shit. Which one was this one?
It's a bonk.
Oh, yeah, just, you know what? When I saw it, I was like, that's kind of funny. When I read your bonk comment, I fucking pissed myself.
I'll tell you, actually, Satsu, it was it yesterday or the day before when Kamala Harris was announced as Biden's running mate, and I saw your tweet of fucking, they're going to be a lot of flip-flopping from the fucking ACAB accounts right now. That's fucking brilliant, mate.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was just like, that guy just hit it right on the head. You know?
Thank you, Gamer Helene, who says a Welsh pineapple monk, a power bottom pineapple.
All right, well, Sinatra, you're one of them.
Look,
I'll
if
be
you're
the
gonna
I'll be the Welsh. Or no, I'll be
You're
the
gonna
power
monk.
bottom. I'll be the. I'd rather be a power bottom than a
you've
Welshman.
been the power bottom for the past 4 years, buddy.
If Cinderella's shoe fit perfectly, why did it fall off? Because bitches can't do nothing right.
No, I guess, yeah. No punchlines, purely informative.
Well, you see, Cinderella has overdeveloped sweat glands in her feet, so if she's so nervous about losing her Prince Charming and being caught as a washer girl that her shoes slipped off because glass.
Yeah, they were made of glass, bro.
Yeah.
Walking glass shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see apparently earlier today the Antifa website will reroute you to the Biden-Harris website? Yep.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, wow, really? No.
Well, it's easy to do. If you own a website, you can redirect it anywhere you want to. So, whoever owns
Somebody put it on Twitter earlier today. They said, think about all the money that was donated to BLM and the anti-cop movement. Now it's going to Biden and Harris.
I know.
Right?
Right.
I mean, was there any doubt though that money was going to the DNC in the first place?
No, they knew it was going to the DNC. They just didn't know it was going to go to a cop.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, all right.
American Celt says some Twitter checkmark is accusing Trump supporters of stealing mail trucks.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, that's been a thing going around because they're trying to say that Trump he's got some ops going on of Republicans going around and fucking up mail systems, fucking with UPS and all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah.
You know why that is, though, don't you? It's because it says male. Everyone's just like, take it down, part of the patriarchy.
It's gotta be
You know that meme of the UPS, FedEx, and USPS guy?
I miss feminists.
Where the USPS guy puts it in there, the UPS guy like tucks it in and gives it a kiss, and the FedEx guy just jumps on it and smashes it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That literally happened to me today. I got a UPS package, a FedEx package, and a USPS package. The USPS perfectly in the mailbox. The UPS got put right next to my door on my porch. The FedEx guy didn't even walk all the way up the driveway. If you look at my security camera footage, I just see a package come flying up.
No fucking way.
Yeah, I think I see a little purple coming around the corner of the porch, and that's it.
No way. Like you come out and someone took a shit on your driveway. Like
I fucking hate that, dude. Oh my god.
holy shit. I mean, I'll tell you what, in the UK, right, if someone did that with our mail, then they would actually get tried for fucking treason, man. They actually would, because it's the Royal Mail, and that's considered fucking with the monarchy.
Oh really?
Wow. Yeah, it's like punching a swan.
You're not allowed to punch swans.
No.
Royal swans.
Yeah, it was decreed once upon a time. I don't know if it was an actual decree, but the monarchy owns all the swans in Britain.
Like forever?
Well, until one of them dies. I don't know.
All right.
No, that's a long-running thing. That's why Brits often go on about fucking like eating swan is a very, very posh thing to do because only the fucking Queen can do it.
Huh. Y'all are weird.
You're telling me? I live here, bruh. Well, not like Sinatra's in a current fucking postal order meme.
Sinatra, did you tell Drunkle that you put his face over the Mr. Mackey-looking guy on your Tucker Tuesday stream?
I forgot about that, but Zach Osborne tagged him in it.
Yeah, I wondered why I got so many links to your stream. I'm like, I know he's streaming. He does it every. What's going on?
Yeah,
that was like Fright Power Hour weekend before last, where I was getting loads of tags for it, and apparently it was because the drinking word was drunkle.
Oh yeah,
so people just going, "Get in here! What are you doing?"
Yeah, there was a guy who made me feel very uncomfortable to look at him, and I was like, I'm going to veto this whole video.
Called a mirror, buddy.
Like, no. Just put Drunkle's face over it. And that's what I did. And it worked.
Well, fuck it.
Says, get ghastly, you monk. I would, but he's not here. If he was in chat, I'd throw him a link.
Yeah, he's probably having fucking sex or something simpy, you know?
Probably.
What's simppier than sex?
Snuggling.
Oh,
yeah. Cooking
Gamer
for
Queen
her.
had the best answer to why Cinderella, her foot or her shoe fell off. Says, because bitches be tripping.
Oh, that's great.
Here, I'm sharing screen if you want to look at the uncomfortable face.
Oh god, bitches be tripping. That's perfect.
No,
that looks like an American Harry Potter.
Yeah, it does.
I'm like, I can't look at him. It's distracting.
Jeez, yeah, that's weird.
He's got that you don't know how much puss I destroy face.
You know it.
Dude, a guy
on expert mode.
A guy who is that unfortunate, he has to have a fucking just knee clapper.
Monster dick. Monster.
You look like that and you pee on your own balls, and that's just life hating you.
He's either got a monster cock or like a car trunk full of cable ties and duct tape. You know?
It's
no
one of the
middle
two.
ground. No middle ground. Like in his car, don't count.
Let's see. Sorry, guys. Chat is jumping all over the place, and we have guests
I heard
tonight.
you laughing, Satsu.
Oh God. So is the ugly duckling doomed to
Open up your Streamlabs, Satsu. People in the chat are telling you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
There you go. Is the ugly duckling doomed to be the queen's slave?
Well, it's not a swan. That's a duckling.
That's a duckling, you fucking idiot. That's always been my main fucking problem. No, this is serious, Sinatra. That's always been my main fucking problem with that fucking fairy tale, right? The ugly duckling grows into a swan. Bitch, your kid died and someone took its place. A sanguine mathematician just donated $5 to streamlabs.com/drunkenuncle. Before I read it out, sanguine mathematician, it's been so long. How are you? I'm very happy to hear from you. To say, how the fuck do you miss a feminist? Seriously, the average feminist has more surface area than a London double-decker bus. You know that, man. I remember there was a video I did ages ago, right? It was about fat women, and this bitch just went, I know my weight can make me a target. And I went, no, a target is something you can miss. Still makes me laugh.
Gamer Bleen.
I laugh at my own shit, but that was a good one.
Gamer Bleen, thank you. Stephen Hawking and Bill Gates, baby, there talking about that guy. Yeah, I can see that too. While we have just a slight moment here, guys, don't forget to check out Drunkle. His videos are awesome. Check out. I don't laugh at anything harder than Drunkle's videos. No offense to anybody else here.
Appreciate
Watch that. Sin and all of the shit he. How many fucking channels do you have now?
3. I'm rolling one into another.
Okay.
It's less than a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
There you go. And of course, the gentleman, as always, our links are all below. I don't have these guys because I wasn't expecting them, but look up Drunken Uncle and Scribe. Where did Satsu go?
He probably accidentally closed it out trying to exit Streamlabs or some shit.
I'd say he got his house raided.
Disconnected his microphone, maybe.
He just got tapped by Joe Biden to be his vice president.
Yeah. Tell him you can't breathe, Satsu.
Hello, sir. Welcome back.
I don't even want to know.
No, you don't.
Don't even inform me. Don't tell me shit.
Oh fuck! I'm crying.
Was there a Streamlabs you needed to get?
There was, but I was.
This is why we needed Bear. You realize this?
I'm gonna mute both of you. Go ahead.
Well, hold on. I was trying to log in, but I had up like 30 tabs, and I was trying to get rid of them, and I accidentally. It says, Frank, did any of you see the Mexican word of the day meme? Mexican word of the day is Nissan, as in Kamala burnt her Nissan the carpet. Oh my god!
Somebody said that to G earlier. That's good.
Are Biden and Harris the worst pair in U.S. history? No.
I feel like Biden and Harris is what you end up with when you order Bernie and AOC on Wish.
Oh wow!
Oh, damn. Well played.
That gets more and more funny the more I think about it.
Peterbilt tried to correct me, but I'm not gonna help you insult me. What the hell? Biden and Harris, the presidential odd couple. I mean, go back to our first and second president. I mean, our second president was Adams with Jefferson as his vice president, which made no sense, and it's just the way we did it at the time. So, I mean, we've had weirder pairings. Kamala's just a horrible person, though.
Yeah,
she does seem that way. She honestly does. And I mean, this is coming from someone who's I've only heard from her in the past couple of months. You know, since the debates and everything were going on, and of course she dropped out of the race. And also, I watched that with you guys. I was invited onto your fucking Super Tuesday or whatever it was.
Yeah,
and it was great fun. But
yeah.
She as a person, never mind as a candidate, as a person, is just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what gets me more than anything is she said she believed Biden's accusers.
Yes.
So either she doesn't care about it and wants to be VP anyway, or she didn't really believe him, which flies in the face of everything she's done for the past 4 years.
It makes sense that she believes him. If you think about how she started her career, she fucked an old guy to get ahead. This woman will do anything to get ahead, including, you know, hooking up with a racist she thinks sexually assaulted people to get that big spot there. That makes sense with her character.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah.
She's a sellout, y'all. She's an ambitious woman, which, by the way, apparently we're not supposed to call women ambitious. Did you guys know that?
No.
I could have assumed. But
apparently it's a slur. That's what I was told.
What?
I'm sure it is.
It's a slur to say that they're ambitious.
Well, because it presents the assumption that women aren't that by default or can't be that. So it's just like when you say that black people speak good.
No, she I forget who it was.
Speak
but
good.
It was some idiot who lost a race who somebody had told them not to be so ambitious to shoot for a lower office first.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. Like
you mean work your way up? as it's normally called.
Basically, they're saying you don't know your place. Is effectively
exactly.
That's the subtext there.
Well,
Except
is that what they think they're saying, or because what they're really saying is you don't have the experience?
If you look at what happened, she lost the race she tried to go for. Maybe she should have listened.
Maybe Biden should have paid attention.
Maybe he paid too much attention.
Anyway, I thought bossy was the slur. Bossy is a slur.
Yep.
That's why we call him
bossy.
Oh yeah.
Somebody said gypsy was a slur today. Like
Gypsy
I thought that was just a group of people.
In the UK, it is. If you're looking at Romanian gypsies, then
Roma.
genuine gypsy. Whereas Roma, whereas normally over here that would refer to Irish travellers. If you call them gypsies, apparently that's offensive. But then if you've seen any of them, that's offensive. So I say we're 5 by 5. You know, they're fucking disgusting people, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to do this because we need to do this one time for the whole 2 hours just to see if we can make Scribe's head pop.
Bye.
We need a full crossing of the streams. We'll work on that. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming and hanging out. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. Junkle, if you have your link, throw it back in the chat again.
Yeah, I got you. Fucking new video out tonight, guys. I know it's been a while, but you know we try to do quality over quantity, and this is not one of those times.
Oh, I was going to go watch it too.
Sin, anything you wanna pimp out?
Just go check out the main channel. I have gotten, I'm not kidding, at least 200 messages in the past week saying they were unsubscribed for me. So make sure you're subbed and go check it out.
Scribbles brought that up last night, guys. Anybody you follow, make sure you're still subbed because a lot of us have been hearing that from people. So YouTube helping us out.
For the past 3 years, we've been hearing that. It's not news.
Well, this is such a much bigger influx than I have ever seen.
It's like they went through and cleaned out, I'm using air quotes, subs again. Scribbles, where are you going to be tomorrow?
Tomorrow I will be on TED Excellence at noon Pacific time,
Nice.
2 p.m. Central time, 3 p.m. Eastern, tandem with Sinatra Says. For a
Yo,
subject.
I noticed you missed out GMT there. How am I meant to know when to turn up?
Well, maybe if you'd mattered in World War II.
You don't matter World War II. Oh,
It's all I've got. It's all the material I've got.
Oh, no, I miss it 200 years of history. No, that's
on
fine.
your ass.
That's all we've got.
1940. I'm going to go 1700. This motherfucker doesn't exist back then.
And I'm not even telling Sinatra what the subject is. He'll just have to find out when he arrives.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's cool. Cooking? That's very cool.
I'm almost at 700 subs over on my cooking channel, so go sub to that shit if you're not already. People have been making requests for anime dishes, and I've been doing that. The first one went really, really well.
You say anime dishes?
Yeah, like just food you see in different animes and stuff. They've actually been
doing like rice balls and shit then?
Yeah, like
cool.
Yeah. So I started doing those videos. The first one, like I said, was very successful. So go subscribe, check it out.
You ever done that shit where you do like a teddy bear made out of rice and like a blanket of carrots and shit?
I could.
Please do.
Can I leave you guys with this sound clip?
Oh God,
a little one from Guest.
It's the fart. I know.
Oh my God, we're full of fucking other dudes.
What?
Yeah, I'll do it one more time.
Enjoyed that.
Oh my God, we're full of fucking other dudes. Fuck off the zombies.
All right, guys. Tonight, sometime I will do
like
a monkey in the morning. Sometime I will do a game stream. Thanks for coming, Sinatra, Junko. Thank you for joining me tonight. Scribe, Satsu, a pleasure as always. Everybody enjoy your night. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Bye.
Bye guys. Fuck off.
Your guys make